Welcome back. Today I will explain functional dependencies and normalization. In that, basic terms which are used in functional dependencies and normalization. We are in chapter 4. This is called session 17. So let us see what are basic terms used. First one, attribute. Each column in a table is called attribute. Suppose we take a student table. There is a register number, next name, next class, and remarks. Assume this is my table. Table is nothing but what you know. It is a set of rows and set of columns. Assume a table having register number, name, class, and remarks. Register number is one column is there, no, that is one attribute. Name is another attribute. Class is another attribute. Remarks is another attribute. Suppose register number is 1 I have taken. Name is A and class is BCA. Remarks nothing. Here 1 is one attribute. A is another attribute. BCA is another attribute, and so on. Second one, tables. Tables having the set of rows and set of columns. Each row is called what here? Tuple. Each column is called what here? Domain, also called attribute. Tuple. It is nothing but a single row of a table. There I have taken 1A, BCA. That is one tuple. Relation schema. Relation schema represents the name of the relation with its attributes. That is totally called what is relation schema. Degree. What is the meaning of degree? Total number of attributes presents in the table is called what? Degree. Cardinality is nothing but a total number of rows present in the table. There I have given already one example. Register number, name, class, marks. There are 4 attributes. Total number of attributes. Then total number of rows present in the table. I have taken only 1A, BCA, something. That is called what? Cardinality. Column. Column is nothing but each attribute, a domain is called column. It is having the set of values for a specific attribute. Column having the values of the specific attribute. 1 is there. That is 1. A is there. BCA, something. Relation instance. It is nothing but a finite set of tuples in the RDBMS system. RDBMS means what here? Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System. Relational instance never have duplicate tuples. It doesn't have the duplicate tuples. Relational key. Every row has 1 or 2 or multiple attributes, which is called relation key. There may be 1 row or 2 rows or multiple attributes. This totally called what? Relation key. Attribute domain. Every attribute has some predefined value and scope, which is known as attribute domain. So, here I explain attribute, table, tuple, relation schema, degree, cardinality, column, relation instance, relational key, attribute domain. These terms used in functional dependency. Next, we will pass on to relational constraint, relational model constraint. Relational model represents the database as a collection of relations, correct? What is relational model? It represents the database as a collection of relations. A relation is nothing but a table of values. It is having the values. Already given on the example, register number, name, class, and remarks. There you can store the values here. You can store the value for the register number, we can store the value for the name, we can store the value for the class, we can store the value for the remarks. Every row in the table represents collection of related data values. There I have given the 1A, BCA something. Every row having the collection of related data values. Value of the first row is what? 1A, BCA. Value of the first column is what? 1. Value of the second column is what? A. Value of the third column is what? BC. Value of the fourth column is nothing. Next, database constraints, also called restrictions. That means what? Easily we cannot insert. If we use database constraints, data to be inserted in an instance of the database, there is a restriction. What is it? Why database constraint required? Constraints in the database provides a way to guarantee that the values of individual columns are valid. Suppose if there is no constraints, there is no validity for the data. In a table, rows having valid primary key or unique key values. I have taken the register number, name, class, and remarks. You can take register number as a primary key. Name and class are candidate keys, other keys, secondary key, whatever you want to take. Now let us see different types of constraints in DBMS with example. Domain constraints. First one, second one, tuple uniqueness constraints. Third one, key constraints. Fourth one, single value constraints. Fifth one, integrity rule 1. Entity integrity rule or constraints. Sixth one, integrity rule 2. Referential integrity rule or constraint. First, let us see domain constraint. Actually, it specifies that what set of values an attribute can take. Suppose I have taken register number, name, class, and remarks. Assume register number is integer, name is character or string, class is character or string, remarks character or string. In register number, we can store only integer. If you store some other value other than the integer, that is not allowed, because register number is integer. This is what a domain constraint. Suppose name is there. We can store only strings. Class is there. You can store only string because I have taken as a string. Suppose I have taken 1A, BCA. Second tuple, if I take X, BCA. X is not integer. This is not allowed. This is called what a domain constraint. Next, tuple uniqueness constraint. You know that what is a relation? Set of tuples. It is having a set of tuples. All tuples or all rows in a relation must be unique or distinct. That means what here? Values should not be duplicated. See, here I have taken 1A, BCA something. Another, if I take 1B, BCA something. Here 1 is duplicated. It is not allowed. When we consider tuple uniqueness constraint. Suppose here I will take a 2. In first tuple 1A, BCA. In second tuple I will take 2A, BCA something. Here A is duplicated. It is not allowed. This is called what here, no? Tuple uniqueness constraint. Next, we'll pass on to key constraints. Here, keys are attributes or set of attributes that uniquely identify an entity within its entity set. Here you can use either primary key, secondary key, candidate key, foreign key. We will discuss later on. What is the purpose of keys? To identify the particular entity within a set of entity set. This is key constraints. Next is integrity rule 1. What does it mean actually? It is also called entity integrity rule or constraint. Actually, this rule states that no attribute of the primary key will contain a null value. Primary key should not be considered null value. Already I given example. Register number, name, class and remarks. 1A, BCA. Second one, I will leave the blank in register number. B, BCA. It is not allowed. This is integrity rule 1. Primary key should not be null. It should have the value. It should contain the value. That is what is integrity rule 1. Then integrity rule 2. Referential integrity rule or constraint. The integrity rule 2 is also called the referential integrity constraint. This rule states that if a foreign key in table 1 refers to the primary key of the table 2, then every value of foreign key in the table 1 must be null or be available in table 2. See here now, you take one example now. First table I have taken register number, name, class or remarks. Table 1 also. Table 2 I will take that is student address and the remarks and register. In table 2 there is student address, remarks and register number. Table 1 is also register number is there. Within table 1, that is primary key. Same primary key exists in table 2. This is referential integrity rule or constraint. That means what here? In table 1 also we can use primary key to access the entity within an entity set. In table 2 also you can use the register number as a key for access the entity set within entity set. Like that, what we can do, we can use the constraints in the DBMS. Thank you. We will see in the next session.